Hi, my name's Eric, welcome back to my channel. Let's talk once again about Madonna. Today, as you requested, I'm going to react to her 1986 album True Blue and break down the album's lyrics. This is the earliest Madonna album that I will have reacted to. The next earliest was Like a Prayer, which this album immediately preceded, and to my knowledge, this album takes a more optimistic look at the relationship that we saw falling apart on Like a Prayer. Before I dive in, let me know in the comments down below what Madonna album I should react to next. Should I go even earlier with Like a Virgin or her debut, or should I go more recent with Hard Candy or MDNA? Check the description for a link to a list of nonprofits you can donate to. Please subscribe to be here when I post new videos every week, and hit the bell icon to be notified when my videos go live. Without further ado, track number 1 is Papa Don't Preach. I like the grit in her voice. Okay, we've got a fade out there. That song does so many things that I like. It's got strings, a minor key, textured, expressive vocals, familial trauma. The lyrics to the song are pretty straightforward. Madonna is a teenager or a young woman who has gotten pregnant and is resisting her father's advice to terminate the pregnancy. I don't know if the song is autobiographical, I don't think it is, but it's interesting still how it fits so neatly into these stories that Madonna has built about her relationship with her father, of course, but also with womanhood and with motherhood. Madonna's father as a character from songs like Oh Father has always represented stigma and religious shame and societal pressure. He basically acts as the mouthpiece of a world that sees girls and women as less worthy and less capable of exercising agency. So whereas in our typical discussions of pregnancy, the idea of choice might refer primarily to the choice not to remain pregnant, Madonna's conception, no pun intended, of choice means the opportunity for women and girls to choose any path. And I don't think this type of freedom is totally unqualified because Madonna is really just moving from one domestic sphere in the role of daughter to another in the role of wife. But for now, to her character, this means being independent and free. Track number 2 is Open Your Heart. So amazingly 80s, I love it. Got another fade out. I love the transition from the pre-chorus to the chorus. It builds so much anticipation. That is such a fun song. As far as lyrical themes go, the main ones I'm feeling so far on this album are truth and freedom, and on this song those two ideas converge where truth is a type of freedom. Madonna is trying to connect with this guy, but he is closed off emotionally. Again, not super complicated, but it feels kind of like a prequel to Express Yourself, because on that song, Madonna's advice to other women was make your feelings known and make sure that your partner is expressing his feelings to you too. And she's doing exactly that here. She's saying, if you express your feelings to me, I will give you more access to me. Again, she's not exactly shattering any gender stereotypes here. She is an emotionally attuned woman dealing with an emotional dead fish of a man. But she has this sort of bird's eye view of normative relationships that empowers her to get what she wants, which is honesty and autonomy. Track number 3 is White Heat.
We went for it. I went for it. Treated him like a kid brother. Come on, get up. Get your hands up. Yeah, that's it. A nice gold medal for the
That was fun. So this song continues directly from the last, except with higher stakes, because Madonna is not just asking for emotional honesty and openness, but demanding it. She builds this sort of law enforcement metaphor around the movie White Heat, which is a gangster movie. So when she says this is a bust, it's a pun. A bust is a police takedown of an illegal operation, usually like drug rings or weapon stockpiles, but it can also refer to a complete failure. So Madonna's saying, this relationship isn't working out, so you need to open the door and let me in. Let me take a look and assert my authority here. Again, this love is one-sided. Madonna implies that this partner is using her physically, but not reciprocating emotionally. It's the same sort of situation that she talked about later on Express Yourself. So once again, she is basically asserting herself and her independence by demanding that she be treated with reciprocity and honesty. Track number 4 is Live to Tell. Ooh, the production is cool on this song. I think production wise, there were a lot of interesting choices on this song, especially with those long pauses. I think they were really effective. And I think Madonna's vocal performance on the song was also really interesting. The way that she was constantly modifying her tone, very cool. And we have yet another song about truth and lies. In the story of the album, the song plays like a breakup song where Madonna has just not been able to get through to this guy and she realizes that she just has to give up on him. And what's interesting is that just like Madonna said, if you open up to me, I'll open up to you, she now says that because he was secretive with me, I now have a secret. She says that this secret is something that burns inside of her, just like how she described desire on Open Your Heart. So she's saying because her partner didn't open up to her, he never unlocked the full extent of the capacity for love that she possessed. And now the way that Madonna is scarred and fed up colors how she thinks about men. She says that men can tell 1,000 lies, and then in contrast, she feminizes the concept of beauty. And this leads her to sort of a dark place where she says, I hope at some point in my life I can experience true love. Track number 5 is Where's the Party? Okay, interesting ending. That was really fun. I really enjoy that sort of scream that Madonna does on the chorus. Definitely a big tonal shift from the sadness of the last song to the exuberant energy of this one, but as some of you have explained to me in the comments, this is probably a product of a flip from side A to side B, but also it's pretty natural in the story of the album because what else is there to do after a pretty brutal breakup than go party? And the common thread is still running through here. The thing she's looking for is freedom. She says, I want to free my soul and I want to lose control. But another idea that she starts to introduce is aging. On Papa Don't Preach, she asserted herself by saying that she was grown and that she had the capacity to make her own decisions, but here she's getting older and has a 9 to 5 and the reality of time is setting in. So just like on so many of her other songs, Madonna is making a case for a central ethos of dance pop, which is escapism. But of course, escapism is fantasy, which is the opposite of truth. So we'll see how this develops further on track number 6, the title track, True Blue. That song is so sweet, and I'm pretty sure the backing vocals melody comes from a song called Chapel of Love, because whereas Where's the Party had more of a current sound, current to the 80s, This song is influenced by the Motown styles of the 50s and 60s, namely doo-wop and pop soul, which lyrically were very, very love-centric. So this song is Madonna basically sprouting heart eyes and being transported to a simple, more idealistic place. And of course, this happened not only because Madonna found true love, but because she found a love that is based on truth. Her past boyfriends were dishonest and secretive, and now she's found someone who she thinks is true blue. Also, the expression true blue refers to loyalty, so this song is basically Madonna expressing her devotion. She got what she needed from her partner, so she's returning it, just as promised. Track number 7 is La Isla Bonita. Again, that reciprocity. I love that song. I didn't realize how many radio hits this album produced. There's also this motif emerging of the sun. I forget what other song it was, but she had mentioned before the sun shining extra bright when she felt like she was in love. And of course, light represents enlightenment, as in truth. But we are still in a place of fantasy, just like the party from Where's the Party or the nostalgia of True Blue. This is Madonna's dream sequence, so she opens the song by asking in Spanish, how can this be true? Just like a dream isn't real, maybe there's something in the back of her mind that is doubtful about her true love. Once again, she shows her interest in freedom when she says on the chorus, all of nature wild and free. Madonna is projecting her emotional needs onto her environment. This perfect place represents the abstract concepts that she idealizes. This is also an early instance of Madonna expressing her interest in Latin America, and you can see from Madame X how she has progressed in her feelings towards Latin America from sort of viewing it as this faraway exotic dreamland that is aesthetically interesting to now having a more conscious, substantial interest in the region's social and political conditions. Once again, it's a movement from fantasy to reality. Track number 8 is Jimmy Jimmy. Before I forget, I just thought Jimmy is something that you do to open a lock, which is the symbol that she used on Open Your Heart to describe emotional connection. I don't know if that'll be relevant, but it's just something that sprung to mind. That song was odd, but also really fun. It had more of that mid-century nostalgia. And it's also interesting that it was melancholic in the way that a song towards the end of an album often is, but it was still really upbeat. I think the character of Jimmy is supposed to represent the type of men that Madonna has dated. She talks about at the beginning of the song Jimmy's legs twitching. He has restless legs. He's ready to get up and run and go and not settle down. Madonna also sets the song in a small town, and she uses a device that's also been used by artists like Taylor Swift, where this small town setting not only represents a sort of parochial, limiting, stagnant lifestyle, but also a dead-end relationship. And what's interesting is that this sort of feels like a reversal of Open Your Heart, because Madonna so badly wanted to communicate to Jimmy how much she loved him, but for his sake she didn't. On Open Your Heart, freeing her lover meant freeing herself, but here, if she had freed herself by expressing her feelings to Jimmy, she might have taken away Jimmy's freedom. And I don't think she's saying that love is a trap or that all men think it is, but what I get from this song is that her act of love to Jimmy was to be selfless and to set him free. The final track, track number 9, is Love Makes the World Go Round. And that is how the album ends. I've talked about a good number of albums where the final track expands the album's scope, like Future Nostalgia or most recently Daydream. And here Madonna is expanding her definition of love not only to mean romantic love between partners, but also humanistic love, the desire to do good for other people. This actually makes a lot of sense coming off of Jimmy Jimmy, because that was a song where she learned that a way to express love was to do something selfless and give Jimmy his freedom. So the journey of the album started from a place of heartbreak and frustration with love, then moved to dreamlike idealism in love, and now concludes with newfound inspiration to use that love to build a dreamlike world. Overall, it's really interesting to me that this album came immediately before Like a Prayer, because I think Madonna's artistic growth on Like a Prayer was just monumental. This album, by comparison, is no less enjoyable, but it is a lot simpler. I think my favorite tracks are the big radio hits like Papa Don't Preach, Open Your Heart, the title track True Blue, and La Isla Bonita. I think it's really interesting to hear the 20 to 30 year nostalgia cycles in action on this album, with this 80s look at 50s and 60s nostalgia, and then how the use of that nostalgia as a shorthand for simplicity and idealism shows how things changed between the 50s and the 80s. That was a really fun and energetic listen, so thank you to all of you who recommended that I listen to this album, and as always, let me know in the comments down below what music I should react to next, and what other topics you'd like to see me cover on my channel. Check the description for that donation link. Please subscribe to be here when I post new videos every week. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you are staying safe and healthy, and until next time, that's it.